I set off with the intent of tackling more of the remaining quests around Bloodhoof Village, starting with the Palemanes camp that caused me so much trouble last time. It was still rough going at times, as I had to carefully aggro single enemies and draw them away if they got too close to wandering patrols. I still ended up attracting too much attention sometimes, requiring a tactical retreat if things got too dicey. At one point I thought I had overplayed my hand, bracing myself for my first death, when my health bar suddenly shot up. A fellow Tauren Druid player had seen my plight and sent some quick heals my way. I expressed my thanks with a respectful bow as they continued on their way. I then found a scroll of protection as random loot, providing 30 minutes worth of extra armor, which helped my survivability. I eventually slew enough Palemanes to satisfy the quest requirements, though I noticed a treasure chest that was located too deep within the camp for me to risk opening it. I resolved to return at a later point just to loot the chest. I realize that it's probably not worth the effort, but I have to satisfy my curiosity at this point. After turning in the Palemanes quest and selling my loot, I ran across Uthan Stillwater, a fisherman who offered fishing training. I took the training, as I remembered that fishing is one of those side gigs that doesn't take up a primary profession slot. It also provides a relaxing way to unwind if you're burnt out on other in-game activities. I proceeded to set out northwest of Bloodhoof Village with the intention of locating and rooting out a dwarven mining operation, picking up enough swoop quills to fulfill another quest requirement in the process. A few overconfident prairie wolves provided me with just enough XP to reach level 9. I didn't find the dwarves, but I did run across another Palemanes camp. There was another treasure chest that I managed to open, providing me with my first health potions. Definitely handy to have the next time I find myself in a near-death situation. A cave with more Palemanes beckoned to the immediate west, but I decided to teleport back to the village with my Hearthstone and turn in the swoop quest instead. Again, I planned on returning later to see what lies within. Upon turning in said quest, I made a quick stop at the local druid trainer. I upgraded a few spells and learned Entangling Roots, which allowed me to pin enemies in place for a short time. I also realized then that I needed to manually update the skills and spells currently in my hotbar with the upgraded versions. I don't recall having to do that when I played Wrath of the Lich King back in the day, so maybe it's a quirk of the vanilla game? I could be wrong about that. I also took the opportunity to learn cooking as another secondary profession, as it provides a useful purpose besides vendor trash for all of the animal meat I've been looting. I finally bought a fishing pole so I could fish whenever I want before setting out from the village again. I journeyed more to the north this time, with the intent of collecting claws from both Cougars and Stalkers, a beefier variant of the prairie wolf, for a quest. Things went pretty smoothly, all things considered, as Entangling Roots allowed me more time to blast enemies with ranged spells before they closed the distance, and my upgraded spells were more potent in general. I returned to the village and turned in the quest, and immediately received another one, a well purification quest similar to the one I had done before. I decided to wrap things up there, briefly selling my loot and cooking a bunch of wolf meat in order to start leveling up my cooking before returning to the inn. I logged out for the day after treating Heenaheifer to a snack of an apple and spring water and putting her to bed.